Women don't fall for sparrows. They're drawn to eagles, men who stand tall, confident, and unshaken by the world around them. It might sound harsh, but the world doesn't reward those who endlessly seek approval or try too hard to please everyone. The sparrow, small and predictable, may be admired for its safety, but it will never ignite the kind of passion that women crave. The eagle, on the other hand, soars high above, bold and untouchable, radiating an energy that draws admiration and desire without effort. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever found yourself doing everything right, being kind, available, and supportive, only to be overlooked? Maybe you've heard things like, "You're such a great guy," but, or worse, been pushed into the dreaded friend zone. If that hits close to home, you're not alone. Most men have been conditioned to believe that being a nice guy is enough to win affection. They think that kindness and reliability will lead to attraction. But here's the problem. It doesn't. In fact, it often works against you. Women don't just want safety or comfort. They want excitement, passion, and a sense of mystery. And the truth is, being the sparrow isn't going to give you that edge. But don't worry, this isn't where your story ends. If you've ever felt stuck in this cycle, I'm here to show you how to break free. Today, I'll reveal how to leave the sparrow mindset behind and embrace your inner eagle, unlocking the qualities that make you truly irresistible to 95.7% of women. Welcome, high-value men. If you're ready to level up your mindset and dating life, hit that subscribe button and stick with me until the end. Let's dive in. Number 1. Why nice guys fail? Let's face it, society has been lying to you. From a young age, you've been told to follow a simple formula. Be nice, always be available, and never stop trying to please. You've heard it everywhere. Be kind, listen to her problems, always be there for her, and she'll fall for you. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the harsh truth. This formula is broken. Think about it. How many times have you followed this advice, only to be left wondering why things didn't work out? Why does it seem like the guys who put in the least effort, the ones who aren't constantly available, always get the attention? The answer is simple, yet painful. Women aren't drawn to a man who seeks their approval. Sure, they'll appreciate your kindness, and they might even respect your dedication. But these qualities alone don't spark attraction. They don't ignite that deep emotional connection that makes someone irresistible. Let's break it down. When you're constantly available, when you put others' needs ahead of your own, and when you're always looking for ways to prove your worth, you're sending a message, whether you realize it or not. That message is, I'm not enough on my own, so I need to earn your approval. Here's the problem with that. Women, just like anyone else, are drawn to confidence, independence, and strength. They don't want someone who feels like an option. They want someone who knows their own worth. And when you act like the sparrow, always seeking validation, you're giving up the very thing that could make you stand out. Now let me clarify something. I'm not saying kindness or reliability are bad. In fact, they're important qualities in any relationship. But when they're not paired with confidence and self-respect, they fall flat. Women don't just want a man who's nice. They want a man who challenges them, inspires them, and sparks excitement. If you've ever felt like your efforts are being overlooked, or that you're constantly stuck in the friend zone, it's not because you're not good enough. It's because you've been following the wrong script. And here's the good news. You can change the narrative. In the next part, I'll introduce a powerful metaphor that explains this dynamic in more detail, the difference between the sparrow and the eagle. Once you understand this, you'll see exactly why the nice guy approach doesn't work and what you can do to flip the script. Number 2. The sparrow and the eagle. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine two birds. One is a sparrow and the other is an eagle. The sparrow is always busy, darting around, chirping for attention. It's small, predictable, and always trying to stay safe. On the other hand, the eagle soars high above. It's bold, commanding, and doesn't seek approval from anyone. It simply moves with purpose, and everyone notices its presence. Now think about the sparrow. It's like the nice guy. He's always around, always willing to help, and constantly looking for ways to prove his worth. He puts everyone else's needs before his own, hoping that his effort will win him respect and admiration. And while people might see him as kind or reliable, he doesn't ignite desire. The eagle, however, is a completely different story. He doesn't try to prove himself because he doesn't need to. His confidence and independence speak for themselves. He's not constantly available, and that's exactly what makes him so intriguing. The eagle embodies strength, self-assurance, and mystery, all the traits that naturally attract attention. Here's the thing. People, including women, are instinctively drawn to what feels rare and valuable. And the sparrow, with all its predictability and constant presence, doesn't evoke that emotional response. But the eagle? He's the opposite of predictable. He radiates power and purpose, and that makes him irresistible. Now, before you dismiss this as just a metaphor, let's make it practical. Think about the last time you tried to get someone's attention by being overly available. How did that work out? Did it lead to attraction? Or did it just make you feel overlooked? The reality is, when you're always chasing and trying to prove your worth, you're lowering your own value in the eyes of others. But when you step into the mindset of the eagle, when you stop chasing and start leading with purpose, you become someone people want to follow. You no longer need to shout for attention because your actions and energy naturally command it. So how do you transition from the sparrow to the eagle? It starts with shifting your mindset. Stop seeking approval. Stop trying to please everyone. Instead, focus on your own growth and purpose. In the next section, I'll show you how Stoicism plays a crucial role in this transformation, helping you build the unshakable confidence of an eagle. Number 3. Stoicism, the foundation of an eagle's mindset. Now that you understand the difference between the sparrow and the eagle, let's talk about what makes the eagle truly soar. Its mindset. And here's where Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life that teaches you to embrace your true nature, focus on what you can control, and let go of external validation. The eagle doesn't look around, searching for approval. It doesn't flap its wings in desperation, hoping others will notice. It simply soars because it knows its worth, its purpose, and its capabilities. In the same way, a man rooted in Stoicism embodies quiet confidence and inner strength. He doesn't need constant praise or attention because his value isn't determined by others. It comes from within. This mindset is what separates the average guy from the man who naturally attracts respect and admiration. Let's break this down with a core teaching of Stoicism. You cannot control what others think of you, but you can control how you respond. Think about how freeing that is. Instead of living your life to please others, you can focus on living authentically, aligned with your own values and purpose. Here's an example. Imagine you're in a social setting and someone criticizes you or tries to put you down. The sparrow would immediately try to defend himself, seeking approval and validation from the group. The eagle, however, would remain calm. He doesn't react emotionally because he knows his worth isn't tied to anyone's opinion. That kind of composure is magnetic. It draws people in because it shows strength and self-assurance. Now, let's talk about how you can apply this in your daily life. The first step is to identify where you're seeking validation. Do you find yourself constantly checking for feedback, whether it's from social media, friends, or even women? If so, it's time to shift your focus inward. Start asking yourself, what truly matters to me? Am I living in alignment with my values? When you stop chasing external approval and start living with purpose, everything changes. Your confidence grows, your energy becomes magnetic, and you start to embody the traits of the eagle. But this isn't just about being calm or unaffected. Stoicism also teaches resilience, the ability to face challenges head-on without losing your composure. The eagle doesn't avoid the storm, it flies above it. Similarly, when you embrace this mindset, you'll find that setbacks and failures no longer define you. Instead, they become opportunities to grow stronger. One of my favorite quotes from Marcus Aurelius is this: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you truly internalize this, you stop being controlled by what others think or do. You start living authentically, and that's when your energy shifts. In the next section, we'll dive into one of the most important traits that sets the eagle apart: confidence. And I'll show you how to cultivate it in a way that's unshakable and deeply rooted in who you are. Number 4, confidence, the key to being an eagle. Let's talk about one of the most magnetic traits a man can have: confidence. But not just any kind of confidence. I'm not talking about the shallow, loud, look at me type of confidence. That kind is fleeting, easily broken, and ultimately unconvincing. What truly sets you apart is deep, unshakable confidence, the kind that comes from within. Think about someone you've met who exudes confidence without saying a word. They don't need to announce their worth or brag about their accomplishments. Instead, their energy speaks for them. You're drawn to them, even if you don't fully understand why. That's real confidence, and it's one of the defining traits of an eagle. Here's the thing. Real confidence isn't about faking it until you make it. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. True confidence is built on a foundation of personal growth, genuine achievements, and alignment with your core values. When you know who you are, what you stand for, and where you're headed, confidence naturally radiates from you. But let's get real for a second. Many men struggle with confidence because they tie their self-worth to external validation. They rely on others to make them feel valuable, whether it's through compliments, likes on social media, or approval from women. The problem with this approach is that it's fragile. If your confidence depends on something outside of you, it can be taken away at any moment. This is where Stoicism offers a game-changing perspective. One of its core teachings is this: you can only control your actions, thoughts, and responses, not what others think of you. When you stop tying your worth to external opinions, you free yourself from the constant need for validation. You start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your purpose, and your own standards. So, how do you build this kind of confidence? It starts with action. Confidence isn't something you wake up with one day. It's something you earn through consistent effort. Here are a few ways to start. Set meaningful goals. When you're working towards something that matters to you, it gives you a sense of purpose and direction. Develop your skills. Whether it's learning a new hobby, improving your fitness, or mastering a craft, every step you take builds competence, and competence fuels confidence. Reflect on your values. Take time to define what you stand for and live in alignment with those principles. When your actions match your values, you'll feel a sense of integrity that boosts your confidence. Now, let me give you a real-world example. Imagine two men walk into a room. The first one tries to impress everyone by bragging about his job, his car, or his accomplishments. The second one simply walks in with quiet composure. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does talk, his words are intentional and meaningful. Who do you think commands more respect? The second man, of course. That's the power of true confidence. It doesn't need to shout. Here's the best part. When you cultivate this kind of confidence, you don't just attract women, you attract the right kind of women. The ones who appreciate you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. In the next section, we'll explore another key trait that makes the eagle so magnetic: boundaries. You'll learn why setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to command respect and protect your self-worth. Number 5. Boundaries. The eagle's shield. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked traits of a truly magnetic man: boundaries. Most people think boundaries are just about saying no every now and then, but boundaries are much more than that. They're a shield that protects your time, energy, and self-respect. And without them, you can't become the eagle. Think about the sparrow for a moment. The sparrow is always saying yes. It's always available, always eager to please, and always putting others' needs above its own. And while this might make the sparrow seem kind or helpful, it also makes it predictable and easy to overlook. Without boundaries, the sparrow sends a message: I don't value my own time and energy, so why should anyone else? Now compare that to the eagle. The eagle doesn't say yes to everything. It doesn't flap its wings at every opportunity to prove itself. Instead, it moves with purpose, choosing carefully where to invest its energy. When the eagle says no, it's not out of arrogance, it's out of self-respect. And that self-respect is magnetic. Here's why boundaries are so powerful. When you set clear limits, you're telling the world that you know your worth. You're showing that you value yourself enough to protect your time and energy. And this doesn't just make you more confident, it makes others respect you more too. But let's be honest, setting boundaries isn't always easy. Sometimes we fear that if we say no, we'll miss out on opportunities, or worse, we'll lose someone's approval. This is where Stoicism can help. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is this: you cannot control how others react to your boundaries, but you can control your decision to set them. Think about that for a moment. You're not responsible for how someone feels when you say no. Your responsibility is to protect your own values and priorities. And when you embrace this mindset, you stop living for other people's approval and start living for yourself. Here's a practical example. Imagine a friend or coworker asks you to do something that doesn't align with your goals. The sparrow would immediately say yes, even if it means sacrificing their own time or priorities. The eagle, however, would pause, assess the situation, and politely decline if it doesn't serve their purpose. By doing this, the eagle communicates strength and clarity, and others respect them for it. Now let me ask you, how often do you compromise your own values to avoid conflict or seek approval? How often do you say yes when deep down you want to say no? It's time to change that. Start small. The next time someone asks for your time or energy, take a moment to ask yourself, does this align with my goals and values? If it doesn't, don't be afraid to say no. Remember, boundaries aren't about being rude or rejecting people. They're about standing firm in your truth. And when you set boundaries, you create space for what truly matters in your life. In the next section, we'll dive into how you can fully transition from the sparrow to the eagle. This is where the real transformation begins, and it's a journey that starts with one critical decision: to commit to yourself. Number 6, the journey from sparrow to eagle. So now you're probably wondering, if I see myself in the sparrow, can I truly become the eagle? The answer is absolutely yes. But here's the truth: it won't happen overnight. Transforming from a sparrow into an eagle is a journey, a process that requires commitment, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge yourself every single day. The first step in this journey is simple, yet powerful. Make the decision to prioritize yourself. For too long, you've been conditioned to put others first, to seek approval, and to measure your worth by how much you can give. But the moment you decide to focus on your own growth and purpose, everything begins to shift. Start by identifying the behaviors and patterns that keep you stuck in the sparrow mindset. Do you constantly seek validation from others? Do you find yourself saying yes to things you don't truly want to do? Are you afraid to take risks because you fear rejection? Recognizing these habits is the first step toward breaking free from them. Next, embrace the philosophy of progress, not perfection. Becoming the eagle doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes or fall back into old habits. What matters is that you're consistently moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Remember, even the eagle had to learn how to fly before it could soar. Now, let's talk about practical steps you can take today to begin this transformation. 1. Set clear goals for yourself. What you want to achieve in your personal life, your career, or your relationships. Write them down and revisit them often. Eagles don't drift through life, they move with purpose. 2. Invest in your growth. Whether it's learning a new skill, improving your fitness, or diving into self-development, every effort you make to better yourself strengthens your confidence and self-worth. 3. Practice self-respect through boundaries. Start saying no to things that don't align with your goals. Each time you do, you're reinforcing your value to yourself and others. 4. Adopt a Stoic mindset. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your thoughts, and your responses. Let go of the need for external validation and start living in alignment with your true nature. Let me share a quick story. There was a man who once felt stuck in the sparrow mindset, always trying to please, always putting others first. He decided to make a change. At first, it was difficult. He struggled to say no and feared how others would react. But with time, he started setting boundaries, focusing on his goals, and embracing the Stoic philosophy. Slowly but surely, he transformed. He stopped chasing approval and started living with purpose. And as a result, the right people, women, friends, colleagues, were drawn to his energy naturally. This journey isn't about becoming perfect, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. A man who knows his worth and lives with confidence, purpose, and self-respect. In the next section, we'll wrap everything up with a powerful reminder. Women don't fall for what you do for them. They fall for who you are. And when you embrace your inner eagle, you'll see just how transformative that truth can be. Number 7, embrace your inner eagle. Here's the ultimate truth. Women don't fall for what you do for them. They fall for what you represent. And when you embody the qualities of the eagle, confidence, purpose, and self-respect, you naturally draw the right people into your life. The sparrow spends its life chasing, always trying to prove itself, but the eagle doesn't need to. It soars above, focused on its own path, and the world can't help but take notice. That's the mindset you need to cultivate. Not one of seeking approval, but one of living authentically and unapologetically. Remember this: you are already enough. Your value doesn't come from how much you give or how hard you try to impress others. It comes from within, from knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're headed. This transformation isn't just about attracting women, it's about redefining your life. When you start living as the eagle, you'll notice that opportunities, respect, and admiration come to you effortlessly. You'll no longer feel the need to chase anything because you'll realize that everything you've been looking for is already within you. So here's my challenge for you. Starting today, make a commitment to yourself. Commit to building your confidence, setting boundaries, and living with purpose. Stop chasing approval and start embracing your true power. The journey from sparrow to eagle begins with a single step, and that step is deciding to take control of your life. Now let me ask you, what's the first step you'll take today to embrace your inner eagle? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And remember, this isn't just a journey you're taking alone. Together, we're building a community of high-value men who are ready to lead with confidence and purpose.